Turning rejection into rocket fuel, how to soar when life tries to ground you. Welcome to the BlackCEO Podcast, where we ignite minds and transform lives.
Today, we're embarking on a journey that will challenge your perspective, stir your soul, and maybe even change the trajectory of your life. I recently had the extraordinary privilege of sitting down with Cherriell Orius, a visionary whose impact on making the world a better place is nothing short of revolutionary. Cherriell's insights have the power to transform not just individual lives, but entire communities. And I'm thrilled to share the wisdom I gleaned from our conversation. Have you ever felt like life has sucker punched you so hard that getting back up seems as impossible as nailing jelly to a tree? That the weight of your past mistakes and circumstances is heavier than a guilty conscience at a confessional? Well, buckle up, because I'm about to tell you something that might just flip your world upside down. You, yes, you are the victor, and your best days aren't just ahead of you. They're charging towards you like a caffeinated cheetah. Let's kick things off with a question that might make your brain do a double take. What if the very thing you fear most, that big, scary monster under your bed of self doubt, is actually the key to unlocking your greatest potential? I know, it sounds about as logical as using a flamethrower to put out a fire. But stick with me, because as we dive into the insights from my conversation with Cherriell Orius, you'll discover how embracing our challenges can lead to the kind of growth that would make Jack's beanstalk jealous. Cherriell's journey is a testament to the power of resilience and the human spirit. Growing up in a small town where dreams often went to die, she faced more obstacles than a marathon runner in a minefield. But instead of throwing in the towel, Cherriell chose to view each setback as an opportunity for growth. It's like she took life's lemons and didn't just make lemonade, she built a lemonade empire. She shared with me a pivotal moment in her life when she was rejected from her dream college. Now, most of us would have seen this as a sign to crawl under the covers with a tub of ice cream and Netflix. We might have questioned our worth, our abilities, or even given up on higher education altogether, but not Cherriell. Oh no, she saw this rejection as a challenge, a cosmic dare, if you will, to prove not just to others, but to herself that she was capable of greatness. Cherriell's response to this rejection was nothing short of spectacular. She didn't just double down on her studies, she tripled down. She sought out mentors like they were the last Pokemon in Pokemon Go. She began volunteering in her community with the enthusiasm of a Labrador retriever at a tennis ball factory. She didn't just improve her academic standing, she transformed herself into a well rounded individual who any college would be luckier to have than a four-leaf clover in a rabbit's foot factory. And guess what? The following year, she was accepted into an even more prestigious university than the one that had initially rejected her. It's like she took that rejection letter, origami it into a paper airplane, and flew it straight into the stratosphere of success. This story illustrates a powerful truth. Rejection isn't the end of the road, it's often the beginning of a new, more exciting journey. It's a concept that many of us struggle with, myself included. We've been conditioned to view rejection as a reflection of our worth, a sign that we're not good enough. But what if we flip that script faster than a short order cook at a busy diner? Imagine for a moment that every no you receive is actually a not yet. Every closed door is an invitation to find a window, or heck, to build your own door with a disco ball attached. Every setback is a setup for a comeback so epic it would make Rocky Balboa's victories look like a toddler's participation trophy. This shift in perspective doesn't just change how we view rejection, it transforms how we approach life itself. Cherriell's experience teaches us that our circumstances don't define us. Our response to those circumstances does. She could have let that college rejection define her future, but instead she used it as fuel to propel herself forward. And that's a choice each of us can make every single day, whether we're facing a minor inconvenience or a major life crisis. But let's get real for a moment. Changing our perspective on rejection and failure isn't as easy as changing your socks, though if you haven't changed your socks in a while, maybe start there. It's not like we can just flip a switch and suddenly love being told no more than we love pizza. It takes practice, patience, and more courage than it takes to eat gas station sushi. So how do we begin this transformation? Cherriell shared with me a technique she uses that I found more powerful than a double shot of espresso on a Monday morning. She calls it the rejection reframe. Here's how it works. Every time you face a rejection or a setback, take a moment to ask yourself three questions. One, what can I learn from this experience? besides the fact that sending a glitter bomb to the rejection committee is probably not a good idea. 2, how can this rejection actually benefit me in the long run, other than building up an immunity to disappointment? 3, what's the next positive action I can take? Preferably something that doesn't involve ice cream or online shopping. These questions force us to shift our focus from the pain of rejection to the potential for growth. They transform us from victims of circumstance to architects of our own destiny, faster than you can say self-actualization. Let me give you an example from Cherriel's life that's more inspiring than a cat poster telling you to hang in there. A few years into her career, she was passed over for a promotion she thought she was more perfect for than peanut butter is for jelly. Instead of wallowing in self-pity or harboring resentment that could curdle milk, she applied the rejection reframe. What could she learn? She realized there were skills she needed to develop to be truly ready for that level of responsibility. It was like discovering you need to learn to walk before you can run a marathon in stilettos. How could this benefit her? It gave her a clear roadmap for improvement and motivated her to seek out additional training and mentorship. It was like getting a personalized GPS for success, minus the annoying recalculating voice. What was her next positive action? She scheduled a meeting with her supervisor to discuss her career path and create a development plan. It was like drafting a blueprint for her future, but with less chance of paper cuts. The result? Within a year, she had not only gained the skills she was lacking, but had also positioned herself as a leader within her organization. When the next opportunity for advancement came along, she wasn't just ready, she was the obvious choice. It was like she had transformed from a caterpillar to a butterfly, while everyone else was still figuring out how to cocoon. This story highlights another crucial lesson from my conversation with Cherriel: the importance of taking ownership of our growth. It's easy to blame others for our setbacks or to feel like victims of circumstance. But true empowerment comes from recognizing that we have the ability and the responsibility to shape our own futures. It's like being the director, producer, and star of your own life movie. And let me tell you, that movie is going to be more epic than all the Marvel films combined. Cherriel emphasized that this mindset of ownership extends beyond just our careers. It applies to every aspect of our lives, our relationships, our health, our personal growth. When we stop making excuses and start taking action, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities wider than an all-you-can-eat buffet. But here's the thing, and this is something Cherriel was more passionate about than a vegan at a steakhouse. Taking ownership doesn't mean going it alone. In fact, one of the most powerful things we can do is to build a support network of mentors, peers, and friends who believe in us and challenge us to be our best selves. It's like creating your own personal cheer squad, minus the pom-poms, unless you're into that sort of thing. Cherriel shared a beautiful analogy with me that's more colorful than a rainbow after a summer storm. She said, think of your life as a garden. You're the primary gardener, responsible for planting the seeds of your dreams and nurturing them daily. But every garden benefits from different types of help. The rain, the sun, the bees that pollinate the flowers. In life, these are your mentors, your friends, your experiences, both good and bad. They all play a role in helping your garden grow. This perspective helps us see that even our challenges and setbacks are part of the growth process. Just as a plant needs resistance from the soil to grow strong roots, we need obstacles to develop resilience and character. It's like life's way of giving us a free gym membership for our personal development muscles. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Your inner voice is probably louder than a heavy metal concert saying, that's all well and good for Cherriel, but my situation is different. I've faced real hardships, real discrimination, real setbacks that make climbing Mount Everest in flip-flops look easy. And you're right, everyone's journey is unique, and some of us have had to overcome obstacles that would make Hercules break a sweat. But that's exactly why Cherriel's message is more powerful than a double shot of motivation straight to the veins. She doesn't pretend that life is a walk in the park or that success is as guaranteed as death and taxes. Instead, she acknowledges the reality of our struggles while empowering us to rise above them like a phoenix from the ashes, but with better hair and less feathers. She shared with me a quote that has guided her through her toughest times, a quote so potent it should come with a warning label. Your circumstances may not be your fault, but your future is your responsibility. Boom. Let that sink in deeper than a stone in quicksand. This isn't about ignoring the very real challenges that many of us face, particularly in communities that have historically been marginalized or underserved. It's about refusing to let those challenges have the final say in our story. It's about writing an ending so triumphant it would make Shakespeare jealous. Cherriel's own background is a testament to this. She grew up in a neighborhood where success stories were rarer than a unicorn sighting. Many of her peers fell into cycles of poverty and hopelessness deeper than the Mariana Trench. But she made a conscious decision to write a different story for herself. And more than that, she's dedicated her life to helping others do the same. Like a literary superhero armed with a pen mightier than any sword. One of the most inspiring initiatives Cherriel shared with me is a mentorship program she started in her old neighborhood. It's like she took the concept of paying it forward and turned it into a blockbuster franchise. She brings successful professionals from diverse backgrounds to speak with young people, showing them living proof that success is possible, regardless of where you start. It's like bringing a buffet of inspiration right to their doorstep. But here's the kicker, and this is something Cherriel was clearer about than a window after a visit from a professional cleaner. This program isn't just about inspiration, it's about action. Each young person in the program is challenged to set concrete goals and is provided with the resources and support to achieve them. They're taught the rejection reframe technique, how to build a personal brand, how to network effectively, real practical skills that can help them navigate the challenges they'll face. It's like giving them a Swiss Army knife for life, but instead of a bottle opener, it has tools for success. The results have been nothing short of remarkable. Young people who once saw no future for themselves are now starting businesses, pursuing higher education, and breaking cycles of poverty that have persisted for generations, all because someone believed in them and gave them the tools to believe in themselves. It's like watching a garden of dreams bloom in what was once considered barren soil. This brings us to another crucial point that Cherriel emphasized in our conversation: the power of representation. Seeing someone who looks like you, who comes from a similar background, achieving great things, it can literally change the trajectory of your life. It expands your sense of what's possible faster than the universe after the Big Bang. Cherriel shared a story about a young girl in her program named Tasha that'll warm your heart faster than a microwave burrito. Tasha had always been interested in science, but had never considered it as a career path. She didn't know any scientists, and certainly not any that looked like her. It was like trying to imagine a color you've never seen before. But through the mentorship program, Tasha met Dr. Kizzmekia Corbett, a black woman who played a key role in developing the Moderna COVID-19 vaccine. It was like watching a light bulb moment, but instead of a light bulb, it was a supernova of possibility exploding in Tasha's mind. Meeting Dr. Corbett was more than just a meet and greet. It was a paradigm shift. Suddenly, a career in science wasn't just a vague possibility. It was a tangible goal, as real as the ground beneath her feet. Today, Tasha is pursuing a degree in biochemistry with dreams of making her own contributions to the field of medical research. She went from maybe someday to just watch me faster than you can say hypothesis. This story illustrates the ripple effect that one person's success can have. By achieving our own goals and sharing our journeys, we light the way for others. We become living proof that success is possible, that barriers can be overcome, that dreams can be realized. It's like we're all part of a giant game of success tag, and the more people we tag, the more winners there are. But Cherriel was quick to point out that this isn't just about individual success, it's about collective upliftment. As we climb, we have a responsibility to reach back and pull others up with us. This is how we create lasting change, not just in our own lives, but in our communities and in the world at large. It's like we're all mountain climbers tied together by an unbreakable rope of shared humanity. Now, I want to circle back to something I mentioned at the beginning of this talk. Remember when I said that your best days are still ahead of you? This isn't just a feel-good platitude like those inspirational posters with cats hanging from tree branches. It's a fundamental truth that Cherriel lives by and that she instills in everyone she mentors. You see, too often we let our past define our future. We carry our old stories, our old wounds, our old limitations with us, letting them dictate what we believe is possible. It's like trying to run a marathon while dragging a grand piano behind us. But Cherriel challenges us to flip this script faster than a short order cook at a busy diner. Instead of being limited by our past, we can be inspired by our future. It's like trading in our rearview mirror for a telescope. Cherriel introduced me to a powerful exercise she uses with her mentees that's more effective than a triple shot of espresso for motivation. She calls it future you visualization. Here's how it works. Take a moment to close your eyes and imagine yourself 5 years from now having achieved your biggest goals. Really see it in vivid detail. Where are you? What are you doing? How do you feel? Is your hair better? It probably is. Now, here's the crucial part, and this is where Cherriel's approach is truly transformative. Once you have that clear image of your future self, ask them for advice. What would that successful, accomplished version of you say to the you of today? What wisdom would they share? What encouragement would they offer? This exercise does two powerful things. First, it makes your goals feel more real and achievable than a pizza delivery in under 30 minutes. When you can vividly imagine your success, you're more likely to believe it's possible. Second, it allows you to tap into wisdom and strength you already possess, but might not recognize in your current state. It's like finding out you've had a superpower all along, but you've been using it to open pickle jars. Cherriel shared countless stories of how this simple exercise has helped people break through self-imposed limitations and achieve things they once thought were as impossible as licking their own elbow. From the single mom who started a successful business to the ex-convict who became a motivational speaker. These stories all have one thing in common. They started with a vision of a better future and the belief that it was possible. As we near the end of our time together, I want to leave you with one final thought from my conversation with Cherriel. She said something that stuck to my mind like gum on a hot sidewalk. Your life is not a problem to be solved, but a gift to be lived. Too often we approach our challenges and setbacks as if they're unsolvable puzzles, insurmountable obstacles. We get stuck in a mindset of lack, focusing on what we don't have or what's holding us back. But what if we shifted our perspective? What if we saw our lives with all their messy complications and unexpected turns as a grand adventure, more thrilling than any roller coaster? This doesn't mean ignoring our problems or pretending everything is perfect. It means approaching our challenges with curiosity instead of fear. It means seeing setbacks as plot twists rather than dead ends. It means recognizing that every experience, good or bad, is an opportunity for growth, for learning, for becoming more fully ourselves. It's like life is a giant classroom and every day is a new lesson. And guess what? You've got a lifetime scholarship. Cherriel's journey and the journeys of countless others she's mentored prove that this mindset can be truly transformative. It can turn rejection into redirection, failure into feedback, and obstacles into opportunities. It's like having an alchemist touch. But instead of turning lead into gold, you're turning lemons into lemonade and then selling that lemonade for a profit. So as we conclude, I want to challenge each of you to embrace this perspective, to see yourselves not as victims of circumstance, but as the authors of your own stories, to recognize that no matter where you are right now, no matter what you've been through, you have the power to shape your future. You're not just the hero of your story. You're the writer, the director, and the special effects team all rolled into one. Remember, you are the victor. Your best days are not behind you. They're just ahead, peeking around the corner with a mischievous grin. And the journey to those best days starts with a single step, a single decision to believe in yourself and your potential. In the words of Cherriell Orius, your future is bright, not in spite of your past, but because of it. Every challenge you face, every setback you've overcome has prepared you for the success that awaits you. It's like life has been secretly training you for greatness all along. So I leave you with this question. What will you do today to step into the bright future that's waiting for you? How will you use your unique experiences, your unique voice, your unique gifts to not only transform your own life, but to lift up those around you? The world is waiting for your contribution. Your community needs your success. Your future self is cheering you on louder than a parent at their kid's soccer game. So take that step, make that change, believe in that dream, because when you do, you're not just changing your own life, you're changing the world. And who knows, maybe one day you'll be the one sharing your story, inspiring others to turn their rejections into rocket fuel. Maybe you'll be the one showing someone else that their best days are still ahead. Maybe you'll be the one proving that no matter where you start, success is not just possible, it's inevitable when you believe in yourself and take action. So go forth, embrace your challenges, reframe your rejections, and start living the life you've always dreamed of, because you, my friend, are capable of more than you know. You are resilient, you are powerful, and you are ready to soar. Thank you for joining us on this journey of discovery and empowerment. Now, go out there and show the world what you're made of. Your adventure is just beginning, and it's going to be more epic than all the superhero movies combined. Lights, camera, action. It's time for you to shine.